Welcome to the Sports Business Classroom post-game show following the Indiana Pacers and Orlando Magic. I'm your host, Ashbel Lamar, joined by Jeremy Julian, Ariana Taylor, and Leo Zevin. And we are live at the Thomas & Mack Center, home of the NBA 2K24 Summer League. So the Pacers, with a blowout win against the Orlando Magic, beating them 108-85. What did you guys see from the Pacers tonight?
I mean, so far, I've seen just a great defense with the Pacers. I mean, you really can truly see the chemistry throughout the game with this team. I mean, with Benedict Mathurin, Jarius Walker, Andrew Nembhard, I mean, they truly shined tonight. I mean, look at the points. Mathurin with 17, Walker with 16, and Nembhard with 21 points. And also, you can't forget about Isaiah Jackson with a double-double. So, I mean, I definitely enjoyed the team really doing their thing out here.
Absolutely. And to piggyback off of your defensive comments, in my opinion, obviously we're taking a look at a two-game stretch now with great defense from the Indiana Pacers. They were everywhere tonight. And if I'm correct, in the second quarter, they had 3 straight possessions in which they stole the ball and got to the other end as well. So it was an incredible display of defense just from the point of attack and making sure that they were cutting the passing lanes. That came from their athleticism, but yeah, definitely.
And talking a little bit about the other side of the ball, I actually am a little bit disappointed in Benedict Mathurin tonight because of his shooting. 4 for 16, not what you want to see out of a second-year player. However, he got to the free throw line 9 times, which shows that he didn't stop being aggressive despite the slow shooting performance, and I appreciate that mentality.
All right, let's talk about the Magic a bit. After a subpar performance from their first-round picks, Anthony Black and Jet Howard, how do the Magic bounce back from 2 straight losses and finally get a W in the column?
Well, at this point for me, it's going to be about taking care of the ball. Obviously, you were playing a great defensive team in the Indiana Pacers tonight, but you're still going to have to be a little bit better than that. If I'm not mistaken, they had 9 turnovers in the first half of this game, which is unacceptable. You're not going to win many games in this league with 9 turnovers in the first half. And, yeah, that's what I'd like to see the Orlando Magic go on with.
Yeah, I would really like to see them strengthen their defense so they can really allow themselves to, have more offensive opportunities and defensive rebounding just to get the ball back in their possession. I mean, since there were so many turnovers, like you said, we're talking about, like, missing free throws, stepping out of bounds, and steals. I mean, it was honestly really sad to see. So, yeah, and I also really want to see them take their time. I mean, there just was so many reckless shot selections, I feel. And, man, it was just really shocking. I was kind of rooting for them, Like, I really wanted them to win. But, after tonight, I feel like as just keeping up with their defense and really just taking their time throughout it all. And I feel like that can really make a turnaround for them.
Well, go ahead.
Like you said about the shot selection, I just wanted to point out, they shot 18.8% from 3 tonight. That's 6 for 32. So you're not going to win many games if you're doing that. Jet Howard and Anthony Black, specifically Anthony Black, 3 for 12. He's got to be a little better if they want to make a run here in Summer League. He's their biggest prospect this year, and he needs to make more shots. Comes down to that.
For sure. Missing shots is a part of the game. I do believe that if you're giving effort on the defensive end, that's what I'd be happy about. Anthony Black did a great job tonight on defense, just imposing his will. He's obviously oversized for his position, but I was taking a look at him on Nembhard as well as Benedict Mathurin, and he was doing a great job. There was a N1 shot from Mathurin in the first quarter, if I am not mistaken. That being said, you could not have played defense any better. He was sliding his feet, making sure to get to his spot, and was playing a great deal of defense. So I'm happy about his performance on that end. Now it's just about picking it up on the offensive end. But he's young. Everything's going to come to him.
All right, now let's switch back to the Pacers. They're now 2-0 in the Summer League, winning their first 2 games rather comfortably. Now, this team has a lot of talent. You guys mentioned a few of them, Benedict Mathurin, Isaiah Livers, But what I want to know is who is the most important player for the Pacers if they are to win the Summer League championship?
Well, in my opinion, it's not necessarily about one single player. We've seen with this team the scoreboard has been pretty evenly spread, realistically, and I think that's how they need to keep going with it. They need to keep playing as a cohesive unit on offense. Isaiah Jackson's been doing very well with screen and rolls, and yeah, so I do believe cohesively this is how they're going to be able to make a mark in there. Now, their best over-the-top shot maker and someone that can rescue them in late possessions is going to be Ben Mathurin, and you would expect for him to have a better shooting night than 4 for 16. But as I mentioned before, this is stuff that happens, especially in the summer league.
Yeah, I would have to agree. Mathurin, last game against the Wizards, had 27 points. That's really impressive, honestly, to say. And yeah, I think, you know, him having that drive, that aggressiveness as well, it really trickled down throughout, like, all of the players on the team, and you can really see that. So I think it's Mathurin.
I would say I agree with your comment about Isaiah Jackson, especially because he's their defensive anchor, and with his 11 rebounds tonight, he did a good job securing the glass. I also really liked what I saw from Nembhard tonight on the offensive end. He was just, his game looks really smooth, really refined. He looks like he's been putting in work, and I think he's going to have a great breakout season this year.
Absolutely. Calm and collected, never lets the game speed him up. He was absolutely tremendous tonight. And, well, it's been about 10 years of constant banging on the wall, in my opinion, banging their head on the wall for the Pacers, trying to retool. It's been a long process, but it seems like we're finally here. So I'm happy for the Indiana Pacers, and hopefully they can keep it up. Whether or not they win the championship in the Summer League is one thing, but they're definitely heading for a very bright future.
All right, now let's look ahead a bit. This Wednesday, Pacers face off against Chet Holmgren and the Thunder. You know, one of the better teams in this Summer League. What are you guys looking for the most during this matchup?
Well, hopefully if we get to see Chet Holmgren play, that's going to be a great matchup. He's going to be obstructing a lot of shots down there, so that's definitely something that will make it a little bit more difficult on Isaiah Jackson or Ben Mathurin going to the rim. So I'm definitely looking forward to seeing that, and I'm also looking forward to seeing their point of attack defense from Cason Wallace, who's been showing a tremendous amount of prowess on that end. He's looking like a young Drew Holiday. Personally, if I'm looking at him, I see a young Drew Holiday, very same prototype, so I'm very excited to see the matchup for sure.
Bold statement.
Yeah.
Well, you sort of took, you know, the words right out of my mouth. That I want to see a challenge. I really want to see a great game, and I think, you know, it'll happen. It really will.
One of my favorite things about Summer League is the teams that play the players that are clearly too good to be there, and the Thunder are #1 in those teams. They have Jalen Williams, both Jalen Williams, who both played in the league last year. They have Chet Holmgren, who's great. They have Keontae Johnson. Cason Wallace is really good. Trey Mann has already played in the league. Their team is just, it's a little bit better than your average Summer League team, so it's going to be a tough challenge for the Pacers, especially Isaiah Jackson, like I said, having to anchor that defense against all these NBA-level scorers.
Absolutely, and Oklahoma City is loaded with future picks as well. They're really heading in the right direction. They already will be contending at least to make the playoffs next year if they take a leap, which they will with Chet, but it's definitely going to be interesting to see that leap being taken, yes.
Most definitely. Two teams like this is going to be a battle for sure. I'm Ashbel Lamar for Jeremy, Ariana, and Leo. Good night, and thank you for tuning in. SBC OUT.